I have a friend, Steve Earle Jr., who is an actor and a director. And after a play one night, we're sitting having drinks, and he said, "I'm just really frustrated. I can't do the kind of theater that I would like to do." I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "Well, Richmond theaters won't do anything that's risky or that has a gay theme." He said, "You know, maybe I just ought to start my own theater company." I said, "Well, Steve, why don't you?" "Well, I really don't have a place. I just happened to be working part-time at Fielding's, the after-hours nightclub, and so I went to the management there and said, could we do a gay play upstairs sometime? And they said, well, yeah, we'll work that out. So I went back and I said, okay, I've got you a place. He said, oh, well, I don't know what we do. I said, well, I just came back from a business trip to Florida. Well, I saw 3 one-act plays by Harvey Fierstein. We sold tickets, printed up programs, got some of our friends to help us build sets and run lights, and sold out 3 nights, 50 seats a night, paid all of our bills, gave $500 to the Fan Free Clinic. Over the summer, we decided to form a company, and the plays became very successful. We also got John Knapp to come in with us.
I thought it was a good idea to do a gay and lesbian theater company in Richmond. You know, we're halfway between the Falwells and the Robertsons, so it was a good idea to get involved and show that we can actually do this in Richmond.
Each time we did a play, we would pay all the bills and then we'd do another one.
This organization, from its inception, has always been well managed. It's never run a debt.
Carreras Jewelers was lucky enough to be approached when they were producing the first program and asked if we would consider advertising. And because I believe in a theater like this, I said absolutely. And since that first program, Carreras Jewelers has continued to advertise. We do feel the results of the advertising and proud to be a part of it.
When we started off originally, we were doing things that were AIDS related.
But after a few years, we realized, you know, now we're sort of speaking to the choir, and we began to broaden our programming.
Roy Proctor was really supportive. He was the person who really gave us oomph to go.
He said, well, if you want to get reviewed, you're going to have to pay your actors and pay your professionals. And I can remember at the end of our first season, we did Vampire Lesbians of Sodom. When I opened the newspaper for the review, there it was, a big picture, and it said, Vampire Lesbian. Well, I had a few people call me and says, Michael, what is this? The biggest challenge with doing the theater at Fielding's was the fact that we weren't in a building that we controlled.
Now, of course, you had creaky stairs and bathrooms that didn't always work.
We didn't have real dressing rooms. We had to take the stage up every single night.
The amenities were minimal and the aesthetics were unusual.
All the chairs were totally different, nothing matched.
There were a lot of people that didn't feel comfortable not only performing there, but coming to see a show there.
In the 90s, when I was an audience member, it was a gay audience coming to see gay theater that may or may not have been produced by gay people.
But there were a lot of people that never even wanted to do stuff with us in the early years, and that's completely changed now.
I think to a lot of people in this community, it wasn't about it being gay or straight. It was about doing good theater.
I've seen some of the finest professional actors here. I've seen some of my favorite directors here. I think absolutely Richmond should consider Richmond Triangle Players as one of our top professional theaters.
Not only do straight actors feel as welcome in working here as gay actors, but straight directors and a straight audience.
I don't consider the audience to be a GLBT audience. It's just a theater-going public.
Every once in a while, I will stand in the lobby and watch the audience come in, and I'll say, I thought I was running a gay and lesbian theater. Where are the gay audiences for this show? And that makes me feel great because they're still coming to a theater that's talking about gay and lesbian issues. They're being exposed to something maybe they didn't know about before, and maybe their worldview will change a little bit.
And the great mix of interactions in the lobby when everyone's having cocktails and visiting and experiencing what I think Richmond is becoming. And 20 years ago, that was not only not happening, it would have been impossible.
Rob Moss came to me and he said, I've got options on a building over in Scott's Addition. Come look at it. and I walked in and it was a radiator shop. So he said, if you can make it work, I will buy the building and lease it to you on the basis that you all can afford to pay for it. With a lot of work and the help from a lot of people and a wonderful contractor, Sam Daniel, we now have this beautiful new facility.
By them moving into this facility, they're now one of the big boys, you know.
There was no question we had arrived.
I think in terms of broadening the audience, I think this space has been amazing. And one of my favorite things is to bring new friends to plays and have them say, wow, I had no idea the theater was here.
One of the first things that you hear from people, even experienced theater goers, if they come here for the first time, is it's such a welcoming space. It seems so friendly.
It's a welcoming place.
The environment's so welcoming. People want to stay, you know, afterwards.
It's one of the few theaters where I go out of my way to arrive early so I can socialize and visit with people.
It is very inviting and it makes you feel good when you come into this facility.
From an audience standpoint, it is glorious. You can see great, it's extremely comfortable.
The intimacy of the theater, the immediacy. You are right there in the performers' laps and vice versa.
The lobby's wonderful, especially the bar.
And you can walk right over there and get a drink and take it to your table.
Caps the whole experience.
We made a very conscious choice that we wanted this to be one of the busiest theaters in Richmond. So in addition to the plays, we've done lots of local cabaret artists, we've done films, we've had comedy, and we have hosted other companies as well.
They've become an incubator for new and emerging theater organizations in Central Virginia.
The doors are truly open to everybody.
The mission of the Acts of Faith Festival is to use theater as a vehicle for discussions about current issues, society, faith issues. Richmond Triangle Players has done a great job of presenting both sides of each issue.
If you come to a Triangle production, you're going to see first quality.
Richmond Triangle Players has really come into its own.
I think we are putting on better shows than we have ever done before.
We always want to up the ante a little bit.
We do not support RTP because it's a gay lesbian theater. We support it because it's a good theater that does good work.
People often ask me, why do you think Richmond, as conservative a place as it is known to be, would have the only theater company dedicated to gay and lesbian issues in the Mid-Atlantic? And I think it's because we need it.
It really kind of highlights what the arts can do to bring visibility to a group of people, especially who are not always accepted by everyone in their community.
We need cultural institutions that reflect who we are as a community.
The quality of work that they do is one of the things that sort of sets it apart from a lot of other theaters in town.
I think the fact that Triangle Players has been here for 20 years is an important creative class story.
I'm so proud that our city has a theater that is successful and it's thriving, and it's a good theater that does this.
I'm also proud that Richmond as a community is able to support a GLBT theater.
So RTP has done an amazing job at picking vehicles that speak to the human condition at large.
It's an educational institution. It's educating the community, and anyone that walks through these doors, they do it through humor, they do it through music, they do it through tears.
So instead of getting on a soapbox and saying that gay is okay, you can actually show it through art.
I think the most important thing Richmond Triangle Players has done in the last 20 years has been to be a beacon that says, this is a good place, we are good people. Gay is not a four-letter word.